Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Italian Grand Prix here at Monza, home of the Tifosis. One of my favorite tracks. Well, partly because, Ferrari. Who doesn't love Ferrari? And yeah, it will be Lewis's first race as a Ferrari driver in Monza. So yeah, there's a lot of expectations, and in light of that, we are driving around in the Grand Prix mode with his car. So yeah, let's see what happens. Okay, but anyway, with all that speculations aside, Monza is a track where, as we all know, it's all about the straight line speed. And it's also using the C5, C4, C3 compound of tires, C5 being the soft tire. So they're quite soft, from 70 to 90-ish degrees, that's where their operating range is. You want to bring up your tire temperatures to about 75 till about 80 degrees Celsius for the start of your qualifying lap. The front right will be cold, doesn't matter. There's not many right-handers that you need to worry about. It's all about the left-handers here. So make sure the rears and the left side do not overheat more than 80. And now let's get the lap started. So to start your lap and to end your lap, it's pretty much the same way. So right after that AstroTurf on the left, and between that and the 50-meter board, that's going to be your braking marker. And take it normally, early entry, because it opens up on the exit. Parabolica is a opening radius corner, so you can go fast in, fast out. Once you're up to 7th gear, use up your overtake ERS and then turn it off back down to 70%, back down to medium mode. And for turn 1, you will notice there's a lot of shadows here because of this official race time. But yeah, for turn 1, it's kind of hard to spot the braking zone. But after you pass the black box, after the 150, so right around 120 to 110 meters, that's your braking reference. And the moment you arrive at this part where you see this little green strip in front of you, that's your turning in point for the next right-hander, and you should also be lifting your brakes already, trail into the corner. You can take about half of this curb on the entry, but sometimes it spits you out so hard, no matter what you do, like that, and it messed up my line into this corner. You shouldn't be taking this sausage curb. You should avoid the curb entirely. It's faster to go around it, so you get a straighter exit. Speaking of which, avoid accelerating on that on the curb here, which we did not. So it helps you to get a straighter exit and smoother exit. Use up a bit more of your overtake ERS down to 60%, stay tight to the right hand side, and we arrive at the end of sector 1. Voila, just one corner, right? One chicane. Look for this barrier on the right hand side, or that exit road along that barrier. And just before the 100-meter board, that's going to be your braking reference. And again, before that right hand side curb ends, that's your turning in point. Aim for this curb, take about half of it. Again, I hate the chicanes because sometimes it's so RNG, sometimes it doesn't bounce, sometimes it bounces a lot, no matter which line you take. This time it bounced me off and it lost me quite a bit of time, so it doesn't matter. And for the second part of the chicane, you can take the right hand curb by putting your right hand tire on it and aim for a straight exit. So the more you can cut, the better it is. You gotta practice to get the line correct. And on the exit, a touch of ERS if you need to gain momentum. And yeah, for Lesmo 1 here, look for the 50-meter board on the left, or just before that the green part on the left ends, the exit road there. Yeah, turn in very fast. Let the car run wide on the exit, and you can use about half the curb here. And a bit more ERS to gain momentum. And for Lesmo 2, arguably one of the more important exits here. Right after the 50-meter board, turn in quite aggressively, but not too aggressively, right? Just throw the car in and downshift to 5th if you need to, with a little bit of a tap on the brake. There you go. And on the exit, yeah, use up the curb and let the car stay to the left, bring it slowly to the right hand side. Not a perfect corner though, I must admit, but it gets the job done. Use up your battery down to 40%. And now for Ascari chicane, yeah, it can get very scary around here. Sorry, pun intended. Around the 100-meter board or the start of the barrier on the right, that's your braking and turning in point. So the moment you start braking, you want to start turning as well, like a split moment later. And you want to aim to cut a lot of this inside curve, including taking the sausage curves here. But for the next right-hander, initially you want to take a lot of the curb as much as you can. Slowly drift over while you're full throttle. And avoid these 3 little sausage curve. These devils will spin your car out. Okay, so avoid them. And keep a straight line as much as you can. This next left-hander, the final part of the chicane, avoid that little sausage curve again. We are very close to it, but we're not touching it. Take a lot of the inside curve, use up the remaining of your battery, and keep a straight line. Bring the car slowly to the left-hand side, and make sure you're down to 10%. Turn it back down to medium ERS, and like I mentioned at the start, you're going to end the lap in the same way. After that AstroTurf on the left-hand side, somewhere between that and the 50-meter board, that's your turning in point and braking point. So again, fast in, fast out, because it opens up on the exit. And you got to turn in quite early. Take the entry a bit if you need to. Open up DRS. No DRS yet. Just use up the remaining of your battery. Keep the car tight to the right hand side to minimize track distance and gain a bit more lap time there. Kind of creepy laughter, Lewis, not gonna lie. But anyway, we only managed to beat the AI by about a tenth here. So definitely lost some time there in the first chicane, the second chicane, and the Lesmos. Every corner basically, as you can see here. We did gain half a second in Sector 1 thanks to the ERS modes, but skill issues costed us a bit more time in Sector 2 and Sector 3. But anyway, proper usage of the ERS can easily gain you about half a second to 1 second here. And now let's move on to the strategies around Monza. So 1 stop, 2 stop, I don't know. Well, actually I know, but both are possible, and it's kind of difficult to decide which one to go for. First things first, radio check is done. You will need to decide how much fuel to take. So at least 28.0 if you want to be safe without having to worry about running out of fuel. And but you can actually get away with 27.5, 27.6 even in clean air. You just need that much. And to be really safe, if you're running a little higher downforce, so 28.0 or 28.3 is exactly what you need. If that's a safety car, no worries at all. Now let's talk about the tire strategies. Like I said, it's kind of tricky around here to do the 1 stop. It's possible, but you really have to be saving your tires a lot. And to pull it off, you probably need to qualify in the top 4 or 3, be at the front of the pack. So let's ignore the 1 stop for a moment. The 2 stop is much safer, especially if you're starting in the middle pack or the back. So start on the mediums, make as many overtakes as you need, then go on to 2 set of hard tires till the end. The hard tires are really, really nice tires to race on. And with fresher tires, you can push even harder. On 1 stop, it's kind of impossible to push and, make overtakes aggressively. Alternatively, you can also start on the soft tires if you're really desperate to make some positions. It's really quick at the start for about 1 or 2 laps, then it dies off. So by lap 4, lap 5, get rid of it, then take 2 set of hards till the end. And as for the 1 stop, it's kind of impossible to, put it in the strategy screen in this game because it doesn't allow it, because tire wear's too high apparently or whatever. But you need to pit at least lap 10 onwards. You cannot pit any earlier. 9, 10, 11, that's like the earliest you can pit, and take the hards from there on till the end. As for the setup, here we are, no surprise, minimum downforce, so 1-0 for qualifying. And for the race, you can start off at 0-0, keep it at 1-0 or go 2-0. I'm starting the medium with the medium tires on 1-0. And then the moment I go for my first pit stop onto the hards, I'm going 2-0. The reason is, the front tires do wear out quite a bit here. You have to, push the front tires to get the grip, especially on 0-0 wings. So just a little bit of front downforce helps you to cut down on that front, front tire wear. And yeah, let's move on to transmission 130, which is quite standard in my setups as of late. 100% on the front, sorry, on the on throttle. You can even use 90, 80, 85, anything in between for the high speed corners, which are the Ascari chicane and the Parabolica, basically the sector 3 corners. But otherwise, you can keep it at 100% for the entire qualifying and the race. As for the off throttle, 30 is again like my sweet spot. You can drop it to 20 for qualifying to get a bit more rotation under the brakes. And if you like that, you can use that for the race as well. But 30 is just a nice sweet spot again, like I said. Suspension geometry, minimum, everything. Just do this. It's the fastest way to set up your car, right? It's fast in the straights and it's fast in the corners. And now suspension, where we can do our magic and adjust the car to your own liking. Start off with the front suspension at 41, front right head at 20. You can also run a little softer front suspension around 36 to 39, but you have to raise the front right head to at least 21 or 22. Otherwise, you will bottom out on the straights. And but I prefer 41 and 20 combination around here. Feels much nicer to drive, especially on low downforce. It keeps the car a lot more planted. For the rears, as of late again, I'm running somewhere between 5 to 10 rear suspension. And it keeps the car planted and stable in high speed corners while not being too oversteery in the slow speed. So it's a good balance and a good compromise I found for myself. You can try that out. And the rear right head at 40 ensures you get maximum downforce from the rear of your car. And you're already running 0 wings, so you're going to be needing some amount of downforce somewhere. You could also just run one rear suspension with about 42 to 44 rear right height if you want a bit more ground clearance and compliance over the curb. But I didn't really like how that felt in the corners, lacking downforce a little bit. So yeah, just run this if you really need to. And for the anti-roll bars, one on the front gives you maximum front grip because you're already running minimum downforce, so you will need to generate the grip from somewhere. Since you can't generate any more aerodynamic grip, you need to generate mechanical grip from the tires. So that's how you do it. For the rears, if you want the rear to rotate more, and yeah, you can go up on the rear anti-roll bar to about 3, 4, or 5. You could also just drop the front wing to 0, and then you can increase the rear suspension to about 4 or 5 to get roughly the same turning effect. But you may notice that as the tires start to wear out, you will have a bit of rear instability. So that's why I'm running 1 or 2 front wing throughout the race, and I've left the rear anti-roll bar at 1. So it keeps the rear stable. And I did notice that in my trial runs, the front was wearing out a lot more than the front and then the rear, just by a bit. So you could also increase the front anti-roll bar a little bit if you want front stability, especially under the brakes. And we move on to the brakes. Speaking of which, you notice I was running 54, 53 and 52 brake bias throughout the lap. At the start of the lap, about 54 for the heavy braking. And then in the middle sector where the 2 Lesmos are, and also the Ascari chicane, you can use 53. And then for Parabolica, which is a very fast corner with minimal braking, you can use 53 or 52 brake bias. For the race, you can stay around 53 to 54 for the start of the race. And if the front tires are wearing out a lot more, then keep it at 53. That should be fine. Otherwise, if your tire wear is about equal, you can run about 54 or 55. Again, you have to adjust this according to your liking. As long as you're not locking up the rear tires, that's a good sign. And finally, we arrive at the tires. Throughout the qualifying and the race, your rear tires will get quite hot because there's a lot of high speed exits. So rear tire pressures need to be at maximum to minimize overheating and minimize tire wear in the race. Whereas for the front tires, you can run them a little bit softer to give you a bit more grip in qualifying and in the race. And about 27.5 is my sweet spot again. You can go up a little bit if you need less overheating and improve your tire wear, so less tire wear. But yeah, even between 27.5 to 29.5, everything is possible. It just depends how it feels for you in your driving. And there you go, that is the setup for Monza. Yeah, just be careful as the tires start to wear out. Don't be overly aggressive on the brakes. Slow in, fast out during the race. And there you go. Hope you enjoyed this. Leave your comments if you need any help. Leave a like as well. And I will see you in the coming days for the remaining tracks in the early part of the calendar. Take care, everyone. Stay safe. Goodbye.
Fantastic, you've got pole position.
Yes.